The telecoms industry in Nigeria in the last 20 years has experienced massive growth, with subscribers now over 174 million. But challenges remain, which have not allowed the industry to reach its full potentials. One of the most instrumental organizations that have played a key role in the nation's digital economy is the Association of Licensed Telecoms Operators, ALTON. As the new administration is set to assume office, it is apt that ALTON provide Nigerians with a better understanding of the issues and challenges from their perspective. Joining me in this chat is Engineer Gbenga Adebayo, the Chairman of ALTON. Welcome, Engineer.
Good afternoon. Good day, viewers. Welcome to the program. Yeah, thank you for having me.
We start first with the issue of regulation and profit-making, or taxation as it is, by government on the operators of these services. A new administration is about to assume office. How would you assess their performance within the last 4 years and projecting forward also into the next 4 years? What are some of the issues you would like to see addressed?
The industry has done quite well in the last 4 years. We've done well enough to the extent that we have set broadband penetration at 30% by the end of 2018. And thankfully, from the reports that we have seen, we actually surpassed the 30% penetration. We did 31 point something percentage. And that milestone was achieved in spite of the challenges of our operating environment, in spite of the difficulty that we experience within the ecosystem that we operate. And also that exists despite that there are a number of other supporting infrastructures that are not present, so which operators have to deal with. But thankfully, in spite of those problems, I'm thankful to the commitment of players. We are where we are. Today, telecom remain the most available service. Telecom remain that infrastructure that covers the most of the country. And telecom remain today one of our most vital, critical national economic and security infrastructure.
Okay, moving further, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority recently threatened to shut down about 7,000 operator masts around the country. That was a surprise to many industry watchers because this is a critical infrastructure as it is, but we still see such coming up. What is really the case that prompted that organization to say we're going to shut down 7,000 masts?
Because we are one of the most available sectors, one of the most easily accessible sectors, and our infrastructure is next to you, it's next to the users, and so also to the taxman. This infrastructure is easily available and it's a subject of taxation. And so the issue of multiple taxation is a major problem. And I think mostly this arises from the amended tax order of 2016, where various state governments are allowed to charge different general revenue under different tax headers. And sadly, we have had to deal with issues of revenue collection, taxes such as effluent discharge, ecology tax on operators, generation emission tax on operators. And in different states, there are different headers under which different governments tend to apply these taxes with a view to improve their internally generated revenue. And because we are a sector that is under the exclusive list of the federal government, we have some minimum amount of insulation that is provided by the federal government, and that is regarding our infrastructure as critical to national economic development, and therefore we should not be subject to these local taxes and levies. The main tax headers are there. The corporate tax is being paid, the employee pay as you earn is being paid, and several other taxes that are defined in the federal statute.
Okay, we come to the issue of that has also been making the rounds within the country. Some persons are saying there are plans or there are talks to increase the cost of services. But also there's another perspective to it, that it's not an increase, it's actually a review that will ensure that the tariffs are cost-based. What's the perspective of ALTON to this issue? Can you clarify for Nigerians?
We're not looking at increasing tariffs. That's not what we are saying. We're only saying that tariff must reflect the cost of providing the services. I've given a few examples and areas of issues of multiple taxation and multiple regulation. And you see, it depends on the point of impact. Sometimes you don't feel the impact as users. Sometimes you feel the users and you feel the impact as users when operations are disrupted, and you will feel it across many geographical zones. I'll give an example. Sometime towards the end of 2018, we had issues of dispute with the government of Kogi State. Kogi is a small state in the north central of Nigeria and shares borders with the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. And Kogi also is surrounded by 9 other states, including Kwara on the other side, Anambra on the other side, Ondo on the other side, Benue, Niger, and a number of states surrounding Kogi. And so the problems in Kogi, the dispute in Kogi, led to closure of sites within Kogi State. These sites were connecting about 160 other sites outside of Kogi State. So while we obey these local laws, while we are forced to comply with these local regulations and local tax laws, we're saying also that cost of providing services in those areas must reflect, tariff must reflect the cost of providing services in those areas. That's what we're saying. So if we are paying more in certain jurisdictions, what it will mean by extension is also that subscribers will pay a little more.
Earlier in the year, the Nigeria Communication made a comment about disconnecting networks for their inability to settle, interconnect, and infrastructure debt. Can you clarify that? Because some industry watchers are concerned. What's the cause of the debt, and why is possibly shutting down or disconnecting this network a solution to this issue?
Normally, you exchange traffic. You have a net receiver and you have a net payer, because for every cost that goes through the interconnect, there is a rate to be paid, both by the transmitting party and by the receiving party. And from time to time, parties have to reconcile. So I think it's a question of reconciliation. Some of them ongoing, some of them have been long overdue. Payments are being made, payments are not being remitted as due, and the regulators step into it, and one is glad to say that the issue is gradually coming to the pass. Parties are around the table discussing this issue, and so, but it's a normal reconciliation process in any commercial transaction. That is the way I will want to put it. It's not something like somebody has owed and has closed his shop and has gone home to do other things. No. It's an ongoing process. When you have live operations like we do have, it's something that will come from time to time. The parties will normally exchange traffic, they will exchange record, and also payment will be exchanged to reflect service provided on my side, on your side, and the business continues. So we are making progress.
Engineer Gbenga Adebayo, the Chairman, Association of Licensed Telecoms Operators of Nigeria. It's been my pleasure speaking with you.